Hey guys, welcome back to Mitza Creek Farm. Today I am working here in my kitchen on beeswax. Beeswax is a new product here on our farm because we have bees. We sell the honey. We actually got the bees in order to pollinate our pumpkins, and so the honey is kind of a byproduct or a value-added product from that. But one of the things that I've been working on is coming up with ways to use our beeswax, and I figured this winter would be a good time to start doing that. And I kind of figured that if our customers don't know that we have beeswax and we don't offer beeswax, we're never going to sell it. And we're just going to keep accumulating beeswax. So let me show you how I'm filtering it because it does have a lot of debris in it. And so I am just kind of putzing away on it. And let me show you how I'm filtering it, what I'm doing with it, and how I'm selling it. So this is what our beeswax looks like in bulk form. After extraction and all of that, it gets put into molds and we don't filter it at the time. And so we have to come later and filter it. And so we have little bits of, like there's some dead bees in here, bits of the hive, some dirt, that kind of stuff, pollen, all of that is here in the beeswax. And so we have to filter this out for our customers so that we can melt it down, get it filtered, and then pour it into molds. So these are the different molds that I'm using. These ones here are 2 ounces, and when they're filled all the way, these ones are 4 ounces when they're used all the way, and they have these fun designs. I did order these off of Amazon. They were like the cheapest ones possible. So next time, now that I know that this works, next time I'm going to buy something that maybe is a little thicker, because like this one here has a divot in it from it being wrapped up really tight, and so the bar is curved, but it's a learning process and I'm getting it all figured out. These ones here are a little over 3 ounces, which kind of stinks, so I'm gonna not use these unless I'm doing something completely different. So I'm trying to keep my options kind of limited here. Also making pellets, and I'm using this. This was just another cheap mold, silicone mold off of Amazon. It was like maybe $5. And I'm getting the hang of this. It is a lot more complicated than that because these are so small and you're pouring it over all of these little high spots, and so it dries really quickly. So when you go to scrape the excess mold, it kind of pulls everything out. So that makes things complicated, but I'm getting the hang of it, and I found that if I take like a knife and I scrape it kind of as I'm pouring, that gets it really nice and smooth and easy. Otherwise, some of these I just end up popping out and putting back in my crock pot to remelt, so that then that way things are going a little quicker and a little more efficient. And to do that, I'm going to use my crock pot. I have it here on Keep Warm. I'm going to put a cheesecloth in here, and then I'm going to put part of this, or I might have a smaller piece. Like sometimes I like to break it up if I can. It's hard cutting beeswax that's this thick. So we're going to see what I have going that is a partial from my last batch, but we're going to get the cheesecloth going in here. You can see the wax is already melted that had solidified. And so this is warm enough. Throw a cheesecloth in and we'll get going. I've already processed 1 full brick like this size a few weeks ago, and so now this was the cheesecloth I used. I actually think I could get a couple more uses out of it. We'll see. I want to get all these dead bees and sediment and everything out of here first, though. If I can't, I could probably warm it up. The problem is it's really stiff, and so I don't want to introduce any of this into the crock pot. I might just get a new piece of cheesecloth, but I want to try to use this one as long as possible. I should have done that when it was still warm last time and got all that out of there. But you can see that that is about how many bees are in something like this here. But I'm just going to set the cheesecloth here, let it warm up. It'll soften up, and then I can get it draped in here so it covers the whole thing. All right, there we go. So Got that in. It is starting to get soft and melt, and there's still some bugs in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece that is left from my last brick that I was working on. I found that in a bag in my supplies, and I'm just going to set it in there. And I am going to put the lid on and make sure that the cheesecloth is hanging out. That way it doesn't drop down, because if it drops down, then I have no way to filter it. So I need to pull this out before it drops down. And you can see that as the beeswax in the cheesecloth is melting, it's getting very pliable and very easy to work with. So I'm just going to try to form it a little bit so I know that it's going to stick out from that seal. Pull it this way just a little more. There we go. So it's sticking out all around. And then I'm going to put the lid on it. And then I just leave it for a few hours while it melts. You can see that it is already starting to melt, and you can see the liquid underneath. So the beeswax just sifts through, soaks through the cheesecloth, and then I am able at the end to just pull up all the yucky stuff. If I have another clump like this guy here, you can see that he's been melted. But I'm able to pull that out and then just grab the cheesecloth and pull it straight out. So now I'm just going to let this sit for a little bit and try to get that piece finished off. Here it's starting to melt quite a bit. It's been going for probably about an hour now. And I'm going to keep letting it go, because once this whole thing gets melted, then I can filter it. All right, here we go. Let's check this out. It looks like everything has melted. Yep. All right, so let's strain it here. And there we go. Our beeswax is all ready to use. All right, so I'm taking a spatula while it's still workable. It's starting to firm up though, and I am scraping all the yucky stuff off. I've already gotten 2 big scoops off, and this is kind of what's left. This is already stuck to the cookie sheet. Right now I am working on 1-pound bars because I have some orders for those. And so I need to get some poured and get them setting so that I can get them shipped. So I am just using these like Pyrex dishes. These guys, you fill them to about right in there, and it is a bar. So I have a couple of these, and I'll fill them and let them sit, pop them out, make some more. So all we need to do is ladle from here. It still is on keep warm, and we're just going to ladle it right into our containers. I put them on a scale, so then that way I know for sure that there's going to be enough in each bar. If I have any extra left, I'll do some more molds, but I don't need those right now. I have plenty in the cupboard and in stock. So got that teared, and you will see how very quickly this beeswax solidifies. It does not take long at all for it to start getting solid, especially when it hits that cool glass. This is not warm at all. It's just on keep warm, but it is it really starts solidifying quickly. I always try to put a little over a pound in just to be on the safe side, but I do weigh everything out. 1.5. 1 pound exactly. Nope, gotta do more than that. There we go. All right, so there's one. And I'm just gonna set that there so that it can cool. These bags that I'm using to ship the bulk beeswax are just bags that I had on hand from my other business, and I'm not using them anymore. And so before I go out and find bags that would fit this better, I'm just using what I have on hand to keep my overhead costs low and to recycle what I have and get rid of some of this bulk, because once I get rid of those off of my shelves in my office, then I'll be able to have more room for these kind of supplies that I'm using for the farm now. That is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.